Now here, bring you the 29th installment of GATFAQ. No Master Fanbase a question. I say something along the lines of that intro in every intro of the series, but not like the rest of the series, or at least not since the first few episodes. This one is it's definitely a lot longer than usual episodes, but it's filled with less answers. Because a lot of you didn't understand the question last time. I mean, I guess that's fair, but you know what? And it gives me less video to edit, so yeah, thanks for that. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to the answers now because shut up. Head canons! This is a good one to start off with. I have the same head canon. It makes enough sense to be believable, but there isn't anything contradicting it, so yeah, it's good. It's so inconsequential, I don't even know how they deconfirm it. But I suppose, depending on how you look at it, that can be a bad thing or a good thing. Anyways, moving on. This one is kinda overdone, but it's overdone for a reason, because it makes sense. There's not really much to say about this one. Pretty much everyone knows about this, so yeah, we may as well just move on. The top one makes sense, although I have read a Cyanix Brown fanfiction that was pretty good. So yeah, why did I mention that in this context? The bottom one is obscure, but strangely logical. To an extent. That actually probably does describe a lot of my headcanons. This is another one just like the previous one in that it's strangely logical, but I think I can actually explain where you came up with it from. Well, I'm not Novice, or I can't just see into your soul, but I think I might know where this came from. To an extent, at least. Well, the thing is, Sir Clogsource and Mr. Egg are voiced by the same person, and Mr. Egg is known to have spent time in the Cheetah's lobby because Captain framed Mr. Egg for the zombie apocalypse. And at least having his brother down there in hell with him would probably help with not going insane from the Cheetah's lobby, and pretty much everything else in Mr. Egg's life. I kind of feel bad for him. I actually made a point about this pretty recently. I have the same ideals about this as I do for Blue and Not Orange. They're exes that try to pretend nothing ever happened between them. Not Orange is probably the one that made Blue do it in the first place, but Joe Mother was probably just mutual agreement. So back on a related note, I agree. I can see how this one's existence makes sense, and how obviously it makes sense, but I'm going to focus on how it became making sense, in that how it became existent. That was a weird phrasing, but whatever. I also kind of do the self-projection thing. I don't project my autism and ADHD onto Gnome, but what I do project onto her is, well, you can probably tell by my profile picture right now. But if you're watching this at a time where I've changed it, I kind of self-project my bisexuality onto Gnome. So yeah, moving on. As a side note, that's not the only reason I have the headcanon, but it probably is part of it. Now, actually moving on. The first one does make sense for the dynamic, but yeah, it's canonically not true, so I'm just gonna ignore that one. The second one is pretty much implied in the series, so yeah, I agree. And for the last one, I've actually read the comic where I presume you got that idea from. If you got it from somewhere completely else, I have no idea how that happened, but yeah, there is a comic that shows that happening. So, yeah, it's completely inconsequential, so just believe it all you want, sure. And finally, for my favorite answer, I guess, this is not really a ranking, it's complicated, let's just move on to the thing. Not only is this one of my biggest headcanons, but you used all the exact same reasonings I would if I had to explain it. Actually, maybe even a little more detail. Good job, good answer. Now for the good